Hi guys, welcome back once again to my sports world. We are now on a Friday morning and we are standing in front of a weekend of a lot of great sports. And the two teams that we cover on this channel are in action. We are tomorrow kicking off this weekend with Manchester United against Aston Villa. And in the Premier League, and there's a lot of other great games that has an impact on our standing in the table. So there's a lot of excitement going on in the Premier League tomorrow, and of course at 6:30 in the morning I have to be up and watch the game with Manchester United and Aston Villa. This video, however, is about we're looking forward to the game on Sunday night where the 49ers are facing off against the Green Bay Packers. Now, if the history can tell us anything, it is that this game is wide open right now. Both the short-term history and the long-term history tells you that there's no clear-cut winner. I from what I've seen these two first games, I am not sure. I am very torn because there has been so many weird results. And when I say weird results, I mean look at the first. Let's take the Packers first. The first game that they played this year, they got stomped. I mean, they got stomped. That was bad. I don't think I've seen Green Bay that bad in decades. That was a bad game. Then they came out last weekend or on Monday, I think it was, and they put on a show, and they won. You know, it looked like Aaron Rodgers was back to himself. It looked like Jones was in the rhythm and was running all over the place. And of course, they have Adams and Lazard and Tonian, so they're a good stacked team. But however, there are some question marks about this Green Bay Packers team as well. Are they as good as they have used to be? You know, is this 2021 version of the Green Bay Packers as good as the 2020, 2019, 2018 Packers? I don't think so. I think there's a few things that are missing. I think there's a few things that are not as good as it used to be. And of course, there has been some tensions. How does that play into it? You know, if they meet a little bit of resistance, can some of these tensions flare up again? I don't know. We have to wait and see. So it's hard. But then again, Rodgers, he's almost like two players in one. So you have to account for that. He is a league MVP. He is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, even though he doesn't have as many rings as some other people. But that's more or less the teams he's been on. So look out. I mean, the Packers are not. They're probably going to win their division. That's, there's not many teams in that division that can, give Green Bay a run for their money. Maybe early to say, but I think that's how it is. Looking at our team, the 49ers, and how we have performed the first two games, yes, we have won two games. We're 2-0, but those games and those wins were squeaky wins, and they were barely wins. I mean, there was two wins without. They were not very convincing, and they were not very telltale sign of high quality on consistent basis. We have parts like in the first game against the Lions. We did really good for the most part. We had a little tight opening, and then it started to loosen up, and we got ahead, and we had a 24-point lead at one point. And then we get into fourth quarter, and things starts to be a little bit shaky. Maybe this was rust, first game and all, but with 5 minutes left, you could see things starting to take a turn for something dramatically worse. And with 2.5, 3 minutes left, and at the 2-minute warning, what the hell happened? What in the hell happened there? And that we saw that some of the same scenarios in the Eagles game. And in the Eagles game, the 49ers offense, what the hell were we doing in the first half? The two first quarters were like, what is this? Not only do we have big patches of moments in games that we saw against Detroit where the defense almost looks a little bit lack of control, lack of concentration. The formations wasn't set right. There was something spooky going on with the defense, and you could see it throughout the game. Not like consistently, but there was like the defense played really good, really good, really good, and then the next time they were on the field, it was like, what the hell did they just do? And there was like it was going on the whole game, and at the end of the game, it was like constantly shaky and nervously, and people were running around like scared chickens, and we almost lost the game. And then we get to the game against Eagles, and our defenses still have moments that are really freaking good, and you go like, oh, we're gonna really put on the force on this team. We're gonna really smother them, and we're gonna just take care of business, and they do. And then the next drive where our defense is on the field, you go like, did that dude just run 42 yards up the middle? Where's our defense? And there's stuff like that that puts a big question mark on the 49ers on both offense and defense. Which 49ers team shows up against Packers? Do we get the 49ers of yesteryears where it was just dominance from the first whistle to the last, where we just put Aaron Rodgers in a straitjacket and he's on the ground flopping around like a seal? Or is this the 49ers that have shown up against Detroit Lions this year and the Eagles this year? And here's the if we can show up as the 2019 49ers, the ones that went to Super Bowl, my dogs are barking, then we have a great chance of winning this game. However, if the 49ers team who showed up last week and the 49ers team that played the last quarter against Detroit shows up, we don't have this. Then it's gonna be a tight game with, I don't know, small margins. And football is a game of small margins already. Even if you have your team fully healthy, fully set up, and everything, it is sometimes it's luck too, you know. And with all the injuries, and then this is a very compelling factor. Oh, my nose is itchy. Oh. With all the injuries, my allergies are blooming today. I tell you. We have some serious injuries issues going on right now. We have it on cornerback. We have it on running back. Okay. Verrett is out. I don't know if Emmanuel Mosley will be back for this game. And there's at least 3 or 4 running backs out of the question. Maybe Trey Sermon can come back in, but I don't know if he will clear concussion protocol. I think it's kind of early. He got it on Sunday. And normally, you don't play the next game the week after when you're in a concussion protocol. It normally takes, you are out for a game and then you play the following week. Sometimes concussions can be really bad and you have to stay out 2 weeks. And from what I saw, he was flopping around on the field and he took a big hit from an elbow and then landing on his head. If he got a big concussion from that could easily be a two game out, or at least one. Do they want to risk it and put him on the field too soon and he gets a knock again and have back-to-back concussions, which if he does, his career is over. Would they risk him like that? That's the thing. They have this guy Trent Cannon they got in, and this Jacques Piquet or whatever his name is. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know which one is going to be running the ball. Is Elijah Mitchell too hurt, or is his shoulder okay? You know, as a running back, you use your shoulders as a bumper and a buffer. The other ones are out, that's for sure. Most of it is out. So Jermichael Hasty, his ankles, he's out. He's out for 6 to 12 weeks at least. So, and then we have, of course, Jason Verrett is out. Emmanuel Mosley, I really don't know when he's going to come back. Greenlaw is out. So we are running some second stringers and some third stringers in many positions, especially on defense. Our defense has once again taken a lot of hits, and our offense has too, but it's mostly for in the running back core. So our wide receivers are still intact, thank God. But then again, we have politics running the team now because all of a sudden they don't want to use Ayuk for some reason. They don't want to use our best wide receiver. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan is thinking, but he's not thinking. Let me put it that way. If you want to discipline someone, discipline them. Holding them out of the team is not the right way. I mean, what did he do that was so bad and so outrageous that you're basically squeezing him out of the team? This is not how you build a good locker room. This is not how you build a good team. This might be what makes Brandon Ayuk go, my future is not with the 49ers. Here we have a super talented and super duper great wide receiver who could tear up the league, and you're willing to play domino with him and possibly run him out of the club. Shanahan is just showing more and more sides of himself and his coaching and his managing that is less favorable to any club. Once all the trickery and all the schemes and all the fancy talk is done, what are you standing left with? You are left with a team that is riddled with injuries every year. You have, for different teams, in fact, one time with the 49ers and one time with the Falcons, you blew a Super Bowl, and you see things start to kind of fall into a pattern here. Are we seeing that the limitations of Shanahan's coaching is overshadowed by trickery and illusions? I believe so. Shanahan is the only one on this team to have something to prove. He's the only one who has failed twice. I'm just saying. So let's get back to the game. Based on all of the things, all the factors that we have seen so far in the two first games, this is a very open game. Player to player, player against each other, which one has the better wide receiver core? Well, since we're not using Ayuk, we have to lean on Trent Sherfield and Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd, is that his name or whatever? No, it's something, Jalen something. Is our wide receiver core better than the Packers? Yes, because they have Adams. He's awesome. He's up there with Deebo Samuel, but behind Adams, there's not much more depth. We probably have a deeper running back core than the Packers, which means if Jones for the Packers doesn't have a good day, what can they do? We will have our running backs either way. They're following a scheme. When it comes to defense, we are better. We are a better defense. Offensive line, I think we are just a bit ahead. Quarterbacks goes to the Packers. So, what is my prediction for this game? Well, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a game of who can execute the best and who can have the margins on their side, who can have a little bit of luck. I think it comes down to that. I believe that the 49ers will win because we have a home field advantage. But it's not going to be a big win. It's going to be one of those games again. And I'm looking at 17-10 49ers. I think that's where we're going to land. 17-10, which means a touchdown and a field goal for the Packers, two touchdowns and a field goal for us. 17-10 will be the final result of the game. I just hope we can get through this game without any new injuries. That's that. First priority is to win the game. The second priority is to get through the game without injuries. If we can do that, and we can work on getting some of the guys back that are already injured, then I think we should be, since we have a bye week in week 6, because this is the game that comes up on this Sunday is not the game that I fear the most right now. We have a bye week in week 6. In week 3 now we meet the Packers. I think that's a doable job to win. We can win that game. However, the next 2 games after that before the bye week, it's going to be really tough. And I think with the issues that we have, I think we're going to run into problems. I think that the Seahawks and the Cardinals will give us a huge, huge headache. But we have to wait and see. But for this game, I think we'll win 17-10. Have a nice weekend, guys.